What's up, Tope?
Hey, Anwar, how are you doing?
Doing good. I don't know. I felt like we just lost Ketchum. So I'm sorry for the little bit of a delay there. First of all,
Oh,
it's good
good.
to see you. Before I had got before you got on, I'm still reminded of our interview that we had. We've only did one interview with you, Tope, in 6 years
Yeah.
being on, and it was probably the best interview I think I've had in my tenure. I'm just kind of curious from a generic standpoint, how are you doing right now? I mean, the season's been over. Are you kind of preparing yourself to try to get NFL ready? Like, what have you been doing?
Well, the season's been done for about two or 3 weeks now, so I'm just enjoying my time right now, doing, working out, running, stuff like that. So I haven't made a decision yet whether I will pursue the NFL or not, but in case I do, I'm still staying ready and just being prepared.
Well, tell the folks though, Tope, they may not know, but talk to them about the degrees because you got more degrees than a thermometer at this moment. Tell them about the degrees that you have and some of the things that you were thinking about, because I'm going to use this, because after we do this, I'm going to use this as the opportunity to get you a job offer. So let's tell them about the degrees first.
Yeah, so I graduated May 2020 with my undergrad in corporate communications. Graduated May 2021 with my master's in marketing, and then I should graduate summer 2022 with my second master's in sport management.
And the goal is to work where and why, Tope? Go ahead, because there may be someone listening right now who can make this thing happen for you, and I
For
don't want
real.
this opportunity to pass.
Yeah, so the ultimate goal is to work at Disney, and it's kind of unexpected for people who don't know that, but like again, I love Disney. Disney has Marvel, Lucasfilm, Natural Geographic. It has a lot of stuff that I'm interested in. So that's the end goal. So Disney, I love Disney growing up, and it'd be a dream to work there.
What is your favorite Marvel movie?
I'm gonna go with Black Panther. I can't do Infinity War or Avengers Endgame because that's kind of like a loaded cast. But Spider-Man No Way Home comes out. Me and Denzel are gonna go see it tomorrow, so that's probably gonna be my favorite one after tomorrow night.
Tope, what do you make of what's happening in the program right now? You guys had a tough season.
Yeah,
It didn't go the way anybody wanted it to. It included a 6 game losing streak, which in real time, when it happened, felt like the most depressing thing you could imagine, right? I mean, it just, by the end, it was so thankful that the season ended with a win and you guys could feel good about winning and ended on a good note. And then we fast forward 2 weeks and a couple of days, and it feels like this program has got some real momentum. From your perspective, what the hell's happening?
just complete buy-in in the program and outside the program in terms of buying into the Sark's offense, his mindset, and the culture of the team, and outside where we buy into recruiting, where like we want to get the guys that we want and we need in the program. So you have guys like Derek Brown actually he's being recruited and he's actually doing recruiting for us too. So it's kind of funny there, but there's just complete buy-in, and you mentioned the 6 game losing streak. Like I've been here for 6 years, and I've never been a part of something like that. And for us to come back with an insane recruiting class after that, imagine next year when we go, when we have an even better record, right? So imagine that recruiting class. So uh, all in all, just complete buy-in into in and outside of the program.
Tope, what's been the pitch? From what your knowledge, what's the pitch to the young guys to come to Texas? What do you tell them when they ask you why should I come to UT?
Well, shoot, for the past 2 weeks, it's been pitching itself, if you know what I mean. But uh, personally though, I've talked on my experiences, and as y'all may know, y'all been covering UT for a long time, and I've been here for 6 years. I haven't played till my sixth year, and that's all great. Gratitude to Coach Flood, where I developed in a matter of months. And that's me just completely buying into his philosophy and what he has, and him believing in me. So it's just insane how I grew so much. So just complete buy-in on my part and being able to grow. And if the rest of the team does that, I feel like they'd be great. So Oh, these comments are insane. How do y'all do this? I'm like trying to focus on y'all. I'm reading these stuff. I'm like, okay, this is getting out of hand. But yeah, it's just it's been insane. So,
Tope, I actually have a Kyle Flood question for you. It was, he arrived with a reputation for being a big time recruiter, and yet he comes from Alabama, and you wonder how much of that is the Nick Saban fairy dust that anybody that works there gets to take advantage of, because the Alabama program for the last decade has been pretty incredible.
Yeah.
What he's pulled off on the back end of a season that didn't go, like you said, imagine what it can be when they're winning a lot of games and what recruiting can look like. Paint us a picture of Kyle Flood. Who is Kyle Flood that on the back end of a 5-7 season, he is landing the single best on paper offensive line class that I've seen in Texas recruiting history?
You say paint a picture, so like I'm gonna go with that imagery and just go with like he's like the Mona Lisa of art, right? So he can recruit, and just given his resume from Alabama, being able to be the only coach in college football to win the Joe Moore Award, win the Allen Trophy, win the Remington Trophy, all in 1 year, all in one setting. That's insane. So that kind of sells himself. And with my personal relationship with Coach Flood, like he knows, like he doesn't talk about how good he is. Like we all know he is, right? He doesn't like to talk about it. So that kind of just sells itself. Like you mentioned, having Alabama, fairy dust or whatever, kind of follow him from Tuscaloosa. But again, we lost 6 games in a row this year, and again, we're signing the best offensive line class we've ever seen in how long. And again, that just speaks to him as a coach, and how he relates to recruits, how he plans on, like, even when again, whenever I talk to recruits, I just tell them like my relationship with Coach Flood. The first thing he asked me was, how come I'm not playing? How come I'm not a starter? So just his relationship with recruits, and he's just an all-around great guy, great coach, great mentor. So even I was talking with him yesterday, just asking for advice about things, so I couldn't speak any more highly of him. So again, like in terms of painting a picture of Coach Flood, he is the Mona Lisa.
Well, I mean, that's a great quote. Anwar, you got to follow up to the
I got a couple of follow up. First of all, Tope, everyone has been asking in the comments. I know that's kind of getting a little overwhelming. They wanted to know, first of all, where at Disney would you want to work? Like what department? I guess they want to make sure they contact the right people. So where?
Marketing, whether that be streaming services, working on Disney Plus. So that's kind of where my goal is at right now, and hopefully it transitions into movies, and whether that be Black Panther 2 or this and that. But again, with football, I have little experience, so right now I'm just trying to get my feet wet, and then again, ultimately the goal will be at Disney. But right now I'm just taking a couple of steps I need to take to get there. So I appreciate y'all helping out.
No problem. And the other thing, Tope, is this is interesting because I find signing day always fascinating, because it's the happiest moment that many college players may have. I mean, you've been in this thing for a long time, and you've had such a journey to really even get the recognition. Take us back to what you thought was your college career would look like on signing day.
Yeah.
And maybe some words of encouragement for just some recruits who may see this, that may, think, I'm out. Every recruit who commits, Tope, says, for the next 3 or 4 years, I'm going to take my talents to such and such, right?
Okay.
So just tell about like the maybe the importance of being patient in order to ultimately have success in college football.
So I feel like I am the perfect example of development, patience, perseverance. Again, everybody comes out of high school. Every recruit that ever comes to Texas comes out of high school a team captain, which I was, has hopes of coming in and contributing early, which I didn't. I didn't contribute till 2021, and I signed back in February 2016. So that's again 5.5 years. So again, I put it in my letter when I was 2 or 3 days after we finished playing, like, you may come out wanting to be the guy, but that not be the case. That might not be the case. Joseph Osai wasn't Joseph Osai in 2018. You know, he still played a couple snaps, but he didn't pop off till about 2 years later. So even with me, like I didn't play for 5 years. You know, I had 3 head coaches, 4 O-line coaches, and with that instability came a lack of development. And now I believe we have a coaching staff that is great and amazing. We put up points in terms of offense, and I can't really speak to defense because I'm not a defensive player, even though I was there for a month or so. But just be patient. Even if you redshirt, like take that as development. Develop physically, develop academically. If you want to stay for a 5th year, 6th year, if my case was kind of unique because of COVID, but pursue a postgraduate degree. Like if you for your 5th year, like if you're a freshman, you're redshirt, don't take that as anything bad. You're going against the best in the country. If you're a scout guy on defense, you're going against Bijan and possibly Quinn Ewers, every day. Like take advantage of that and get better. DBs, like freshman DBs who redshirt, take advantage of that and get better. Me being on O-line, like I've been on a scout team for my first 2 years. One on when I was servicing the defense on offense, and then when I moved to defense, I was servicing the offense. Then when I was on defense, I was whatever y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? But
yes,
I'm just like, so it's been 6 years. I'm kind of getting jumbled up, but like just take advantage of those scout team reps, that redshirt year. Like you never know, when you're gonna be needed. I was needed after Denzel went down, and thank God for Coach Floyd. I developed in a matter of months. And I mentioned it to you, Anwar, when I did media about 2 or 3 weeks ago, where I was on, I didn't play at all in 2020, just field goal stuff like that. Moved to tackle November 2020. Moved back to guard. I missed spring ball because my mom passed away. I moved back to guard August 2021, and for Coach Flood to have only a matter of months to work on me and develop me to the player he knew I could be and where I thought I could be coming out of high school. That was, for him to do that and for me to play on the back end of the year after Denzel got hurt and actually dominate and knock guys over. Keep in mind, I didn't play. The last game I started was, 2015. That's 6 years later. I finally started in the college game. So it's just in terms of perseverance, just stay the course. Most guys can transfer, which I'm not knocking that at all, but y'all just stay the course. You never know what's going to happen, And if you would have said, like, after I signed my national letter of intent that I'd be here 6 years later and finally start a game, I was like, I'm going to play early. I'm going to do this. But, God has a different plan for everybody. So I'm just grateful for the path of my journey and, meeting Coach Floyd and meeting Coach Sark and being developed the right way. And I couldn't be any more grateful.
Tope, last question. And I want to pick up on what you were just talking about. It wasn't that you played. It wasn't that Denzel got hurt and you were forced to play and you came in and you logged some snaps. Last month of the season, you were arguably the best offensive lineman on the team. Our guy Alex Dunlap breaking the film down like he has every snap for basically the last decade. And every week towards the end, he was like, guys, Tope, like, wow, he did some really great things in this game. From a football technical side, can you explain the light switch that flicked on? What did you suddenly start doing better in those last couple of months that made you go from a guy that wasn't on the field to being a guy that was not only on the field, but was incredibly impressive and a real positive factor for this team down the stretch?
I think it started Texas Tech game, we blew them out, and twos got in. And at that point, I was just playing carefree, and I was still worried. Like I hadn't played a game in 6 years, so I always had that little tentative side where like, oh damn, like am I gonna mess up? Am I gonna do this? So even the Texas Tech game, you can watch the film. I'm dumping bodies. Same thing with Rice, which is cool. But it didn't come till Denzel was hurt, and Coach Flood, like he watched me progress every week ever since we started the season. And my time came, and he's like, you're going to start the Oklahoma State game, and even I was surprised. Funny story. That Monday, I didn't even know. Bijan is the one who called me late and woke me up, and he's like, "Bro, you're starting what?" And he's just so excited for me, And I actually got word from Bijan, and for him to be excited for me, and I just at that point I was like, okay, I got to step up my game. So, you mentioned how I got progressively better every week, and that again, that's all credit to Coach Flood. Every mistake, everything I did wrong in practice, was corrected spot on, like right then and there. So when it came to the same play, the similar play, I would, do it more efficiently. So it all came credit to Coach Flood. And, you mentioned the back end of the season, at that point I was just playing carefree. Like for Coach Flood to put so much, thought and effort and belief in me, the least I can do for him, the least I can do for Longhorn Nation, the least I can do for my coaching staff and my teammates is just put it all on the line. Like I don't care about scoring points. I know points will come if I just dominate my guy. So I'm bending guys backwards, like pushing guys off the line. Like that's the least I can do for them. So if I had that mindset, everybody else had that mindset, we'd be, hella successful. And I know we will be. But for me personally, it's just like I have to do this to show that my appreciation for Coach Flood, my appreciation for all the support Longhorn Nation, the coaching staff, and my teammates gave for me to finally start and the back end of the season. So me doing all that stuff is the least I can do. If I could do more, I wish I could. If I wish I had another year under Coach Flood so I can actually develop even more and contribute. But it sucks that it was my last year. But Coach Flood always says effort. He only requires effort and being able to recruit the next guy. So all my effort right now for this month of December is into recruiting the next guy, recruiting the next recruiting class. So NATO, Kelvin, like that's the least I can do for Longhorn Nation coming out. So I'm trying to leave Texas better. Leave it better than the way I found it. Right. So my freshman year was just me, Gene, Shaq, and Denzel. But now we're signing 6, 7, 8 offensive linemen. Like it's insane. So it's the least I can do for Longhorn Nation and Coach Flood.
Tope, you basically converted. You're like everybody's new favorite Longhorn. I think you would take over the world if we had signed you to an NIL deal and let you get out in front of everybody open. You couldn't be more impressive. Anwar, you 100% right. Tope, go do the damn thing, man. Like we're all rooting for you. You've been, I think, the highlight of our show today. I think everybody that's had a chance to watch you couldn't be more impressed with your attitude, what you've given us on the way of information. Go enjoy the rest of your day, my man. But sincerely, thank you for giving us some time. We're better for it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me.
And by the way, hire him, Disney. You won't regret it. Tope Imade, ladies and gentlemen.